What's going on, guys? Stefan, S&E's Garage. We got two new projects for the channel. We picked up two Grady-White cuddy cabin 20-foot cuddy cabin boats. One came with a motor, one did not. What I'm thinking we're going to do here, this is going to be the one here we're going to keep. This one came with a 200 Evinrude. It does not run, but it has compression on all four cylinders. This side's a little low. These were 195, 95. This side was 100, 105, and 100. So should be good enough to run, get a couple years out of it, see how we like it, and if we like the boat, we'll put a newer motor on it. So what I did, let me get up on the boat real quick. I'm just gonna put you guys down. Is I've had this thing charging overnight. It's got two interstate 12-volt batteries, deep cycle. It used to only crank with a jump box on it, and now I got it to the point where it cranks, and it cranks nice and strong. So that is a good sign. It did come with some electronics. We have a Garmin depth finder, which is pretty cool. Plotter, whatever you want to call it. We have a nice little stereo in here. Not sure if it works. Haven't tried it yet. See if we got power to it. Most of the time with boats like this, you just have to assume that it doesn't work. Let's see, here's wiper. Nothing there. Accessory. Nothing. Cockpit light. I'm not sure if any of this stuff works, so you guys are kind of finding this stuff out as I am. Horn doesn't work. Bilge pump. Navigation lights. So what we really need to do here is start digging into this and seeing what has power and what doesn't. But the remote, the trim on the boat does work, which is a good sign. My throttle cables are very much seized, so they need to be replaced. But the inside of this thing, for what it is, I think this is an 86 or an 87. This one's 2 years newer than the other one. But for what it is in remarkable shape. So this will be a neat little project to get ready for, next summer. So let me get this battery charger away. It's starting to rain a little bit. Let's get inside, and then we'll show you what we got going on the other one. Alright guys, it started raining yesterday after I put that battery charger away, so I did not get to finish filming. So it's tomorrow now. This is the other 20-foot Grady. And if you'll notice, if you look down the side of the boat, you see how the, the pinstripe and everything's straight. That side has a little curve to it, and so does the hull. So that is the newer hull. Now, like I mentioned, just walked right through a spider web. This boat does not have a motor on it. So I'm not sure what our plan is yet. That's definitely going to be the one we're 100% keeping. I'm going to get that motor running, and we're going to use that one. But this one just isn't in as nice of a shape as the other boat. I'll show you the inside of the cabin. This one's, quite messy compared to the other one, and it just needs a lot of, stupid little things. So with that said, let's get over to the good one over there, and we're gonna start digging into it and diagnosing some electrical problems, see if we can get them sorted out. Let me get over there. So like I mentioned yesterday, we're not getting power up to any of those switches up there. So the first thing we're gonna check is the condition of both of these batteries. Like I said, I did charge them both overnight the other night, and a fully charged battery should be right around 12.6 volts. So this one did hold a charge. It's at 12.61. Let's check this other battery and see if it fared the same fate. And this one's a little weaker. This one's at 8 volts. At least that's what it looks like. Let's try that again. Test it right here. Yeah, 8.58 volts. So this battery did not do too well. So what we're going to do is turn these batteries on. I'm going to put it on both here so they both have power. Let's see what it does now. 12, yeah, see, it's going to be a little lower because this battery's dead or discharged. But we're going to go into the cabin and we're going to pull the panel off and see what we got going on under there. Make sure we have power to it. Figure out why we don't. Alright, so we're in the cabin, and this right here, behind here, is where our all of our switches are. So we're going to pull those 2 screws out and that screw out. Hopefully they come out, and see what we got going on behind there. Alright guys, so back here there was actually not really anything worthwhile. So what I did is I came back over to the battery here and I followed these fuses here. This one here was connected to this wire. This goes to a bilge pump. This one here also goes to a bilge pump. But this one goes to a wire that I was able to trace back, and it goes down into the hull. So what I'm thinking is that that's going to be my wire that sends power up to the front of the boat. And I checked the fuse and they were just corroded to hell. So the fuse is no good, obviously. I'm going to clean these terminals out. I'm going to see what I got after I do that. Alright guys, so I cleaned this fuse out real good. And all I had laying around was a smaller fuse than was in there. So it had a 30 amp in it. I just threw this 20 in to kind of see if I had power coming up here. And if you watch, if I turn this on, I have power up here. And some of these things actually work now. I can now honk the horn. So the horn works. The fuel gauge, you can actually see if I hit the button, it comes up a little bit, so that works. The bilge pump, if you listen, you hear it humming down there, so the bilge pump now works. And if I turn accessory on, my depth finder slash plotter now powers up. So I now have power going to these switches, and whatever doesn't work, I now have to figure out why. Like, for example, this radio does not turn on, but if you mess with the fuse, it'll kind of make some noises. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with how radios work, but you have 2 different power inputs. You have your full-time, your hot wire, you have your ground, and then you have what's called the remote wire, which is what tells the radio when to turn on and off. And I have to figure out how that's wired. The way I want to wire it is connected directly to this key, so that when I turn my key on, the radio turns on. So I'm gonna have to mess with that. We're probably gonna get a new one on here because this is not Bluetooth. I want to get a new one that has Bluetooth and all that stuff, and then we'll probably put some nice speakers in here, kind of sort of like I did with my Robalo. Maybe I'll put them, in the side here, who knows, but we're going to set this thing up for next year so that, it's ready to rock and roll, and we're going to enjoy it. So please like, share, subscribe. If you like boats, you like cars, you like trucks. I got some other projects going on. The alternator went in my Cummins over there, so we're going to be doing that soon. We're going to be doing a water pump in this Jeep because it went right after I did the alternator, which is usually how these things work. You fix one thing, another breaks. So we got a lot going on. We want to share it all with you. And yeah, so please like, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys on the next one.